that'll give you an idea of how bad this truck really is. Now with that, we'll take y'all to the shop and let you see exactly how to fix that problem. Okay everybody, now you do not have to take your wheel off to do this, but I'm doing this to make it easier to show you, but I'll just do it like this in case you want to do it. This is basically what I use. I use a standard 4-way. Now this thing's not marked, so I don't know exactly which size it is. And if you're running the ITP wheels, I believe this is a 12 spline key, either 10 or 12 millimeter. Again, it's not stamped, so I'm not sure. Hope y'all can see this. So we're gonna go ahead and take this wheel off. Starting with this lug. I've already got a couple of them loose, but we'll start with this one. Alright. We'll start. Let's get this one done. Then we'll go ahead and jack the truck up, which I'm going to do that right now. I believe my jack's a 3/4 ton quarter jack. It's a Husky from Home Depot, and I'll do a review on that one day. Now, we just want to get this off the ground. Yep, everything's good. And also, if you're jacking up your mini truck, make sure you have your jack lined up on the front differential if your truck's equipped with 4-wheel drive. That's just the best area to do it. So, okay, let's go ahead and take the wheel off so I can go ahead and show y'all the next phase of the project. I'm going to go ahead and stop the camera. This is going to take a few minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay, basically what we're going to start with, let me zoom in just a tad here, is we're going to start by pulling this cotter pin out right here. And then we'll take the nut off. And then we'll basically do the same process on the other side. It's going to be just a tad different. Now, as you see, this cotter pin, let me take the zoom out just a tad now. You have to excuse the dust cover, it's kind of just there. But the cotter pin's not going to come out that easy. So, I keep a Leatherman on hand. Now, this is a legit Leatherman. This ain't one of these knockoffs that you get from wherever. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this thing and give it a nice little tug. And I may have to turn the camera off, but I'm going to try and do it on camera. So you might just have to, you know what, I'll just use the camera hand. And we'll let y'all come along for the joyous ride of trying to fight with a cotter pin that's not wanting to come out. But as you'll see, the Leatherman is not going to give up. Okay, I am so sorry about that, y'all. I'm going to have to turn the camera off and pull these cotter pins out, but basically you pull the cotter pins out and we'll get to the next step after I get the cotter pins out. So I'll be right back. Okay everybody, I am so sorry that I couldn't show you, but basically this is the whole assembly I was talking about. If you make sure this is straight, which the steering is straight, and this whole assembly is straight, basically what you're going to do, and like I said, the left is the same as the right, so what I'm going to show you here is not going to change. I'm just having to try and hold the camera steady. But basically, you're going to knock these off. You're going to do the hub, which I will show you, and then you're going to come up in here and knock this one up and out. But when you put the new ones in, you are going to make sure that both your grease fittings are pointed down and your nuts are up. The reason for this is so when you go to pack these, you will have no issue. And like I said, the other side is the exact same procedure. I had to break the cotter pin to get it out. Basically, you'll bend one side and make the other side easier to come out. But don't worry, the new tie rod ends, they give you new cotter pins, so that's not a big deal. It's also not a big deal for me because I have a whole box of cotter pins in the shed. Now I'm going to show y'all something here. Y'all can see that little grease fitting up there. Let's see if I can clear it up a little bit. That grease fitting up in the, again, I can't remember what they call this piece. I am so sorry, but it is what it is. That grease fitting up there did not come stock. If you are able to get a machinist to do this for you, I would bypass the rubber bushing if you're running ATV tires. If you are like me and you get a death wobble at 25 miles an hour, it could be your tie rod ends. It could be the tires. I do not run or recommend you run the Carlisle All Trail tires because it will give you just that bad of a death wobble like you saw earlier. But another solution to fix the problem is right here. Now, this is really greasy because it's kind of loose. But this nut right here, I'm sorry, I can't get my hand where I need it. This nut right here is loose. I've got to tighten this up just a tad, which I will set up and try to show y'all. But you just tighten that up, not so tight it won't turn, but tight enough where you don't have this much play in it. Then you're going to pump grease. If you have already done this modification, that's just nothing more than a bronze bushing and a grease bowl, I call it, or cup. Catch the grease, then your washer and your nut and the cotter pin. But it bypasses the rubber bushing that goes bad. So that is a modification I have had on my truck for a while, which I have not showed y'all up until now. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off, take the driver's side tie rod out, which again is, let me back the zoom out again, is from here all the way to that one. And then we're going to go down to my shed. I'm going to open the box that came in the mail today and show y'all exactly what comes in a kit to redo this. Now once again, like I said, the passenger side is the exact same deal as the driver's side. So I will show you how to straighten up and line up your wheels for the driver's side, and you'll do the exact same deal for the passenger side or vice versa. I'm using the driver's side for the example. So let me stop the camera and we will be back and show y'all the rest. Okay, basically all you're going to need to do this job is a 17mm socket, same way as in when you're doing, let me zoom out. You basically need the same 17mm socket that you used on the steering column to loosen up the tie rod ends. So we're going to go ahead and try and loosen those up. As you can tell, they haven't been messed with in a while. There we go. Alright. Now be careful because, like I say, in my case, I'm using a jack. You can tell how stiff these things are and seized up they are. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the camera and we'll show you a neat little trick to get them off. Okay. Now I'm going to show y'all a neat little trick here to get this thing to come out of the knuckle. Now if you watch, full-size automotives, they'll probably show this same deal. But if you take your castle nut, again, all you need is a 17mm socket to take it off. You take your castle nut and screw it on upside down. Just a couple of turns, no more. Then you can take a hammer and tap it and it will come out. So that's basically what this will look like. Let me go get a hammer and I'll be back. Okay, it's kind of hard to see it, but I'm going to try to tap this off with a rubber mallet. Anyways, but you can use a hammer or a mallet or something and do that. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off and go ahead and disassemble this thing, but once you tap that out of its knuckle, then you can do the other side the same way. Like I said, you can use, back out just a tad, use the castle nut upside down as something to hit against. And then once you do that, do the other side, and that's all there is to taking it out. Then we'll show you what comes in the package. And like I said, it's the same procedure for the passenger side. So y'all just pretty much repeat this for the other side, and that's all you need to do. Okay, everybody. Well, we ran into a technical glitch out at the truck, so I'm going to have to figure out something, and I'll tell y'all kind of basically what I did. So until we get that done, I'm going to show y'all basically what comes in a package. Here's your basic tie rod ends. You'll have 4 of these. If you order the complete set, you'll have 4 of them. Excuse me there. Anyways. And you'll have, of course, 4 of these little grease fittings. Yeah, let's see. And basically, I'm going to show you how to prep these things and get them ready to go. Then you'll want to take this little grease fitting here. Let's see if you can see it. And just start it by hand. Get it in there. Then you're going to take a little socket and just lightly turn it, or a wrench, whichever you prefer. Lightly turn that in. Then I've already done the other 2. And then you'll do the same thing here. This is something that the last set I did not do, because honestly I didn't know until all was said and done that I had these. So anyways, that's basically the gist of how you prep and get it all ready to rock and roll. Then after you get them mounted to the truck, you'll want to fill them up with grease. I'm going to use a synthetic grease, probably. And again, these will be a 17mm nut. Excuse me, or 17mm nut. And so y'all just hang on, and we'll be back at the truck to show you a little more of how to install them on the truck.